so awesome to see everyone here today. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Megan Foster, and I have the honor of serving as the mayor of the city of Coralville. So I am so pleased to welcome you to here today for this wonderful tradition that we have had for several years. This is just a great way to come together at the end of the year to celebrate with our friends and members of the community and talk about all of the things that we've accomplished together over the last year, and to look towards the future to talk about the things that we have on the horizon. So I hope you enjoy your delicious lunch, and with that, I am going to turn it over to the architect of this and many other events here in the community, Mr. Tom Seelick.
Well, thanks for coming. We've done this, I think, for over 20 years, and this is sort of classy today. I'm a little intimidated by being here. Usually it's in the basement of the library now. We have a chair and a box lunch, but I want to thank the people here at the Hyatt. They have been great to work with, and they did lots of things that we didn't expect, so I want to thank them. It is the holiday season. It's a little bit of a Christmas theme, but we want to remember not everybody's a Christian, so we want to recognize our friends who are celebrating Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and other religions, so it's really a holiday theme. It's really a time of believing and giving, whatever you believe in, so we'll try to have a little fun with that, but we don't want anybody to think this is just designed to be a Christian experience. A couple of people I want to introduce. John Lohman is my friend. John runs the Coralville Business Journal, and he could not come today, but he said that he hired a new managing editor. Her name is Alexandra Olson. Before she arrived, she knew no one, supposedly. Anyway, Alexandra, would you stand up and just wave to the crowd? So on the way out, you might introduce yourself. So I call her Allie. She's my friend now. So anyway, on the way out, say hi to Allie if you have a chance. Also want to introduce John Lindell. John was once the mayor. John, stand up for a second. John's claim to fame was last year. Some of you know I have a best friend that occasionally changes every week or so, every day. But last year, I selected the best friend of the year and gave him a trophy. That was John Lindell. And so I want to announce today, there is no new best friend. There's only one John Lindell. So here is town's best friend of the year from 2021, John Lindell. Thank you. One of my other duties is I help Coralville with their Burfest event. That's held January 28th. It's here at the Convention Center. And so my job is to sell sponsorships. It's a great event, trust me. And you get to sample beers, and it's a fundraiser for the community. So I'm in charge of selling sponsorships. So if you want to be a sponsor, it's a heck of a deal. $250. You get 2 tickets to the opening hour, which is special. So if you want to buy a sponsorship, email me. We'd love to have your money, but it really is a great event. It usually sells out. So we'll get. Well, anyway, Kelly is here with me. When we planned this event about 6 weeks ago, I was told Kelly maybe we should not hold it. I was a little depressed. The world is ending, I thought. Gas prices were $4 a gallon. Inflation's going off the roof. Interest rates keep going up, and they keep going up. And I thought, Kelly, there's nothing's going to happen in 2023. My customers are going to slow down their construction. The world's sort of ending. I said, well, you know what else? It's getting cold. It's getting darker. Every day it's getting darker. It's going to be 5 degrees next Friday, and then below 0. The shortest day of the year is next Thursday. And, the sun never comes out anymore. I said, maybe we should just cancel this thing. He said, Tom, oh no. So I'm sort of the Grinch, but Kelly has assured me we have some special things here. So Kelly, clue us in what's really going on.
We have to pull Tom off of the cliff, and he was being a lot of a Grinch. And I told him about a few things that were happening in Coralville. There's a lot happening. It's always 70 degrees. It's always sunny here. Write that down for next Friday. There were so many things happening in Coralville that we couldn't put them all actually on our agenda today. We've got Viewpoint Molecular is buying at the end of this month a new facility here in Coralville. They're going to be moving into that, and they are working on a cure for a certain type of cancer. And so they will be bringing 70 more people to the community to work on that particular drug. And there's we have several other businesses that will be announced over the next month to 2 months that will be doing expansions as well. And our first speaker today is going to be Matt Tretow, and Matt is the general manager of the Hyatt Regency Coralville, and he has a lot of great things that are going to be happening right here at the Hyatt, and so we wanted to give that opportunity to him to share a little bit about it. Hopefully I can't even see my. There you go. Yep.
All right, thank you very much, Kelly, and thank you for Tom for not only trusting us to put this lunch on. You know, it's been fantastic. I always love coming to these lunches and learning about new renovations or new businesses coming in, and I appreciate the opportunity to also talk a little bit about what's to come for the Hyatt Regency. About a little over a year ago, when the Marriott transitioned into the Hyatt, we had a kickoff social, and we brought a lot of you guys here and kind of talked about what we're planning on, but really the planning hadn't started. And over the past year, there's been a lot of discussion, a lot of roundtables. We brought in this great group. Looney is the design group that's involved, and just really getting to know the community, getting to know who we are in Coralville and the Iowa City area, and just a conversation of, okay, we want this to be very customized. We don't want this to be a cookie cutter hotel, right? We want it to tell the story of where we were and where we're going. And I don't expect you guys to read all of that stuff, but it talks about the Iowa River, the literature here, the University of Iowa, and the different ways that we are going to transition into the new renovation. And here's some of the inspirations for our renovation. And it really is that, you know, obviously the bird and the Iowa River and the books and everything that we treasure so much here in the community. And what that developed, and this is kind of a sneak peek, this is kind of the scope of our renovation. Obviously the ballroom and the meeting space and the corridor, that all got renovated pre-COVID. So that we won't address anything here. But the guest room is still original. So the good thing is the team that was in place before we came on board, they've done a great job of maintaining it, keeping it clean. But it is old. It's a 16-year-old property, and you walk in the hotel and you walk down the corridors and it screams bright red Marriott, small TVs, and this transformation is anything but that. So we do have a great sales team, and after this, they will be available to actually give you a tour if anyone's available we have 2 model rooms. So they are completely done. We've tweaked a few things, but we have that to showcase. But that is our property off to the right-hand side, and that is where what's going to become after renovation. A couple other updates. The Regency Club, 8th floor, that's going to come down to the 1st floor. It's going to allow us to service people better. It's going to allow more than just the 7th or 8th floor guests to take part in that. And it'll be an exclusive club. It'll be for VIPs. It'll be for individuals that pay to get a little extra service. But that's also going to allow us to build out 2 more suites on the 8th floor. This hotel, very limited in suites, so it's hard to really push that and take care of everyone that's coming in. So we're able to build out 2 more suites there. The fitness center, you know, as Josh and Stacy and the CVB team, and Nick, I know Nick's here as well, as they continue to bring in some phenomenal events, they are sports driven, they are youth driven. So what that means is we really have to step up our game. And one thing that has been known since opening, I think, the fitness center is very small. It's right by the pool. So we're actually kicking out the sales and events team. We don't know where we're going to put them yet, but no, we'll find a location for them. But we are going to build that out, and it's going to be 3 times the current size of our existing fitness center. It's going to allow us to pull the current existing fitness center open, so then guests, families can watch their kids from that area instead of, if anyone's been in the hotel during a busy weekend, there's times where the kids are all jamming in the pool area, and then all the parents are lined up sitting in the hall. This will allow us to have a seating area so they can watch their kids in the pool. So, and then the other thing that I want to talk a little bit about is Edgewater Bar and Grill, but I'm not going to go into a ton of detail. It's amazing. We brought in a whole new company to do additional research. It's our goal to completely renovate the restaurant area. It's to complement all the other great restaurants that we have up the hill. And look for more details to come after we turn the first of the year. We're going to do a big reveal. We're going to really talk about that. But those of us that have been here for years, when the Marriott first opened, the Edgewater Grill was a place to be. There was a 45-minute wait. The food was great. The service was great, not only for our internal guests, but also for the local guests. And that's really our goal. That's what the vision is. And once you start seeing that, and once we start pushing that out, hopefully you guys will be a little more interested and want to come check it out. So more to come on that. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, so a couple of things that we have going on currently. Breakfast with Santa. Those of you guys that participated last year, came in, brought your families in, thank you very much. This year we doubled the space. And as you see here, we have 2 seatings. It's this Saturday. We're actually the morning seating. The first one is sold out, and as I was coming up here, Shannon said that the second seating is pretty much sold out. We might be able to sneak in a family or 2, but it's great. It's family. It's kid-oriented. We have Santa. We have Mrs. Claus. We have crafts, we have all kinds of fun stuff in it. That's this Saturday. The other thing, Hyatt, Holiday at Hyatt. That's something, as we come back out of COVID, a lot of us are understaffed. A lot of us are still trying to do many things at once. Not everyone has the budgets to do all kinds of holiday parties yet. So what we're trying to do is put that on. We have dueling pianos reserved. We have some great stations, great buffets. All you have to do is bring your executive team, bring your staff, bring your department, or just bring friends and just come along and let us do the work. So that's something we're trying this year, and hopefully it's going to be successful. All right, well, that's it. I know I don't have a ton of time, but the team on the left, I do have to do a quick recognition. I love coming to work every day. I have a ton of fun because it's the people I work with. There's been a lot of people that have been here since the beginning, like Shannon Arnold. You've seen her standing over here with me. She's been here since the doors opened 16 years ago, and she is still here, still full of passion. Her team is amazing. And then we have Sean Clausen, who is our director of sales, again, from the area, passionate, built a whole new team for the most part. And she's Mrs. Claus back there, and they have a ton of fun as well. But they're doing a great job of filling the funnel, getting people in, and they're really connected and really working with the community and doing some partnering. So love those guys. Okay, so to wrap things up, for any information on any of that stuff, our sales coordinator, his name is Doak Walker, literally, and what I want to do is, and there's his contact information, so for any of this, he can get it to the right sales professional. But before I get off the stage, I have a question for you. If anyone can tell me who the latest Doak Walker winner was last week, I have a gift certificate for an overnight stay post-renovation from July 1 through December 31st. So the first one to answer that question. No. Anyone? It's the Doak Walker Award winner from last week's college football awards. Come on, there's got Nate Kading. Come on, Nate. So it wasn't Blake from Michigan or Chase Brown from Illinois, but it was a Texas running back. Does that help? Yep, there it is. Bijan Robinson. So thank you guys for your time.
Matt, thanks. He mentioned he's going to have Santa Claus at their event on Saturday morning. That is not the real Santa Claus. The real Santa Claus is sitting to my left, right here. And we have Santa. You want to say ho, ho, ho or something? Ho, ho, ho. This is the real Santa for years ago. And of course, we have Mrs. Santa Claus. We have both here. So with our events, we have both sides, and we have the real Santa. So anyway, we appreciate Santa coming back to help us celebrate. Our next speaker is from ChildServe, and I've got to tell you the story of how I met these people. When we met with Kelly, he was telling me that things are happening. There are people who are building things. And so he said, ChildServe is going to add on. I said, who in the hell is ChildServe? Well, they're a Coralville operation up in Oakdale Boulevard. They have a building there, And so I go to this dinner last month for the Woman of Influence. I went there because my friend Angie Jordan. Angie, want to wave to the crowd? Stand up, wave to the crowd. Angie Jordan was recognized that night. So I go to this. Mary and I go up there. We sit where the last table. No one's with us. We're way in the back. No one's there. So finally, two nice ladies sat down next to us. And believe it or not, it's the people from Child Serve. This is a true story. And they seemed very charming. I thought, well, this is a winner. So I'm pleased to introduce Rachel, hang on now, what's that name again? Collins Howe. Okay. From Child Serve. This is a 501c3 operation, very successful. They serve special health care needs for children from 0 to 22, do an amazing job, and they're expanding. So we're delighted they're here today. Rachel?
Yeah. Thank you very much, Tom. We were equally excited to meet you, and it was a really fun evening. So, perfect time of the year to share a little bit about Child Serve. If you go to our website, the first tagline that you will see is that we are believing in the spirit of a child. And that drives everything that we do, because every child has unique talents, abilities, their own unique spirit. And so that's really what you feel when you come into our building. Our vision at Child Serve is transforming lives through pediatric health care. And we do that by partnering with families to help children with special health care needs live a great life. And so it's just an inspiring place to be. Child Serve as an organization has been around for a very long time in Iowa. Started in the Des Moines area, Johnston, and also in Ames. And we actually have over 30 specialty programs that we provide to 5,600, so 5,600 children in the state of Iowa, which is pretty awesome. So our story in Coralville actually started in 2016 when Child Serve expanded to the region by purchasing Children's Center for Therapy. And at the time, Children's Center for Therapy had 2 clinics, one in North Liberty and one in Iowa City. And then in 2017, we were able to consolidate into one building, as Tom mentioned, on Oakdale Boulevard, just south of the Kirkwood building. And so we've really enjoyed being in that space and a part of the University of Iowa Research Park. And just in a short time, since 2017, we've already outgrown our building. So we're serving over 1,000 children in that location. We've had to move some of our services off-site. Our mental health, behavioral health, psychology services are currently temporarily housed just very close to the BioVentures building across Oakdale Boulevard until we expand. So the good news that I'm here to share today is that we are breaking ground this spring of 2023, to expand our building. So our building is 13,000 square feet, and we're going to double that size. Which will allow us to serve more kids. And the services that we provide currently are outpatient pediatric rehab, which is physical, occupational, and speech therapy. And then we do mental health therapy and psychology. We're the only provider of an autism day program for this in the state of Iowa, where children ages 2 to 7 who have an autism diagnosis and also Medicaid can come to our program and receive specialized services to prepare them to be integrated into school. So they get therapy while they're there, and then we work with them on a curriculum to help them with social and emotional skills. And then we also have, we recently, about a year ago, started an ABA program, which is Applied Behavioral Analysis. So all of those services together, we're just making a huge difference for a lot of these kids, especially the ones that need all of those services together. And then we also have some community-based services, so respite and SEL services for families that have children on the waiver. So we're really excited about this expansion, and we also are opening our first satellite in the Hiawatha, Cedar Rapids area this spring as well. So we're excited to serve more kids. We have a lot of kids on a wait list right now, which we hate. We really want to be able to serve them in a timely manner, so this will allow us to do that. I also would like Sarah Voles to stand up really quickly. So we just hired Sarah as the Eastern Iowa Director of Development. And so we're super excited with her leadership to help us build more partnerships in the community. And we're just so thrilled to be a part of the Coralville area. And in closing, I would just say the best thing about Child Serve is really just the magic that you feel when you're there. So we would love to talk to you more about it or give you a tour if anyone is interested. So thank you.
Well, that's an amazing story. Spending an evening with them at dinner and talking to them, these are very nice people too. This is it's a huge asset for the community. I didn't know who they were, so we're very lucky they're here, and I think about the future there. So, Rachel, thanks for coming. Those are great remarks. I should mention the Coralville Food Pantry. We're doing this for them, so I appreciate you donating that money on the way in, and all that cash will go right to the food pantry. And I know they've built a new facility, and it's not quite open. Is that right? Now, we want it, John, or is this John here somewhere? So what?
January 21st.
What?
January 21st.
January 21st. Okay, the new food pantry will open up on by the school up there. So congratulations. It's hard to mention the food pantry without mentioning Hodge Construction and Mike Hodge. That building would not be there without them for lots of reasons. They're very generous, and they did the building, so we're lucky. Okay, our next speaker is Marty Lentz. Marty is the airport director for Eastern Ohio Airport. Been around for about 6-7 years here. Graduate of North Dakota with a double major. I think about, why does the corridor grow? What's our secret? Well, there's lots of secrets. I think we have great city managers, I think, and I really think the ICAD, Iowa City Business Partnership, those people that welcome the diversity, that the whole effort has made a difference. I think bike trails makes a difference. But in some respects, the secret here is the airport. I think they provide great services, and they keep expanding. As you see, they've expanded a lot. They build a lot of stuff. They have no debt, zero. So it's a testament to Marty and his team. It's a great story. And Marty's got some big announcement tomorrow. I don't know what it is, but some big announcement. And I asked him to announce it today, and he said no. But anyway, Marty, you can tease a little bit.
All right, well, good afternoon. Tom, thanks for the invite to come down here to the South Corridor and chat a little bit about the airport. Before I get started, I want to just point out, the Airport Commission have a South Corridorian, if you will, representative on the Airport Commission. It's been that way for a number of years. Current commissioner is Steve West. So any complaints, send them to Steve. Compliments, we'll take those. And we have a has-been commissioner in Josh Schomburger. Two of the South End Corridorians that have been on the commission, and really appreciate their service. So I've got a few slides just to talk about the terminal and what's coming. We just opened bids on phase 4 of our final phase of terminal modernization. To put that real quick in a nutshell, the 4 phases will end up being about $110 million of total spend and investment. As Tom said, we've done that without debt, so we're very proud of that. We're very aggressive in the grant arena, which helps tremendously. But certainly a lot of leadership before I got here. I've been here 8 years, but the airport's in great fiscal health that allows us to do some pretty amazing things. So that's just a real quick snapshot of some numbers. Just a second. So I don't have my glasses, so I can't even read them. But anyway, there's the nonstops, and our nonstop route map's going to be grown by 1 tomorrow. So I'll talk more on that in just a second. But United, American, Delta, Frontier, and Allegiant round out the service. First quarter of next year, we'll finally have our seat inventory above 2019 numbers in seats. Overall departures are down, but if you've flown lately, you probably have experienced much larger aircraft coming and going and fewer regional jets, and that's just something that's playing out nationally with the lack of pilots and workforce. So, but for the first time first quarter, we'll have more seats in the market. We anticipate ending this year with the second busiest passenger year in the history of the airport, next to 2019. So the good news is the airlines keep investing, and the better news is all of you in the community continue to use it, because this is absolutely a use it and they will come scenario. This isn't a build it and they will come, because honestly the airlines ultimately could care less about a terminal and it's the truth. I mean, you could have the most beautiful terminal on the planet and have no landing fees and no fees at all, but if the community's not using it, you're not going to have air service. So it's all about use it and they will come. So this is a quick snapshot of phase 4 that'll be coming. You can see where the building ends. Today it's kind of got a pyramid shape to it. That's where we have about a 30,000 square foot addition to the facility, 4 new jetways. All of the concourse from about gate 5 to the end, what today is 9, gate 9, will be remodeled. More gate hold seating, more plug-ins for everybody's smartphones and cell phones and laptops and that sort of thing. We also have additional restroom capacity, new food and beverage vending coming in. We also are including a sensory room, so folks that are traveling that it might get a little chaotic in the gate areas with all the passenger congestion that can happen. We have a specifically designed room for that sort of thing, so we see that from time to time, certainly with visitors to the University of Iowa Children's Hospital. So we want to pay attention to those customers and certainly try to meet their needs. Here's just some quick snapshots. I've only got about 5 minutes, so I'm going to try to honor that.
We'll give you 1 minute more.
Okay, thank you. 6 minutes? You give me a microphone and I'll be here a while. So, but a lot more natural daylight, just really going to be fantastic. Something that the entire region can be very proud of. So we're excited to roll this out. Construction will start here in next spring. We've opened bids. Commission will take action on bids on Monday. The apparent low bidder was Renterneck Construction, which is fantastic. It means that those dollars that we brought in the community through the grant program are going to stay here in Eastern Iowa, putting our local contractors and trades folks to work here at the airport. This is at the very end of which will be the addition. Another Oculus, it's a fancy word for rotunda. So for the architects in the room, it's an Oculus. So pretty neat. We also will have an amazing outdoor patio off the end of the concourse, which you'll be able to see every airplane coming in to the terminal or landing at the airfield. You'll be able to have a beverage and a hamburger, sit outside and enjoy Iowa's wonderful outdoors. And I say that despite 4 degrees coming. Having grown up in Minnesota, I can tell you Iowa's much warmer. So it's perspective, folks. But anyway, very excited for another patio. The other thing I'll jump back here, that we are adding as well is known as a SARA, which is a service animal relief area. We're moving that indoors, so folks traveling with pets, service animals, they'll be able to do what those animals need to do indoors and no longer have to go outside. So certainly plussing that amenity up as well. The new FBO facility is coming online as well next fall. This is a rendering of what it'll be look like. This is ultimately where all of the University of Iowa traffic, charter traffic, whether that's basketball, football, you name it, will be going through. We try to pay attention to that. So you can't really see it, but this is on the ramp side. On the perimeter of the FBO building that's there in glass, we actually have neon lights. So as teams come in from other states to play the Hawkeyes, we'll be lighting it up in black and gold. So we can start to get in the minds of the teams as soon as they arrive. So that's certainly a ton of fun, and as it relates to the terminal, I'll jump back to that quick. Sorry for jumping around on you a little bit, but you'll see it in our restaurant as well. I mean, we view ourselves very much as Iowa City's airport. We appreciate everybody in the region using the service. You'll see Herkies in the terminal. If you haven't been there, one of the number one things people stop and get their photos. With the help of Josh Schomburger, we actually opened up the High Porch restaurant, which is after Hayden Fry's biography. You'll also see a fantastic, I call it a mural, but it's ultimately really large photos that we had done of the Hawkeye Wave. We also have Java House Coffee. That is our coffee kiosk. So very much about placemaking. so that when people do arrive, whether it's the private side of the airport or the commercial side, we want them to know that they've landed in Iowa and why we all love, work, and play here in the great state. So, and I say that as a Minnesotan. We love it because it's a heck of a lot warmer. So this is some interior renderings of the FBO. Again, and to put this in perspective, this is, where private aircraft come and go. So ultimately, these are folks that are making decisions for our community, whether jobs are going to stay in this or grow jobs in this area, or whether there's going to be jobs that leave. So that's the reality of the clientele through that facility. So we take that serious, and we want it to be the best FBO in the entire Midwest. So not only will it be the best FBO in the entire Midwest from a facility perspective, we absolutely will be plussing up the service as we move forward with it. Yes, and we have an outdoor patio there as well. So this is a great opportunity for young folks that are training in flight school or whatever. They can study, watch airplanes, and really just enjoy the outdoors right there at the FBO. So I appreciate it. That's a wrap on that. I will tell you, everybody is invited to come out to the terminal. We'll be meeting right around the information desk in the main terminal for a new route announcement. We just found official word today at 9 a.m. So Pam and I are both kind of on cloud nine and have to run back to the airport. But it is a market that we have been, as a community, working on long before I got here. It's been decades in the making. We've been very aggressive about it in the last 5 years. So it's a very significant announcement. If you understand, from our perspective, it's one that'll matter tremendously to the university. It'll matter to everybody in this room, to business. So we're very excited. And again, it's because the community continues to use the service we have. The investment keeps coming from the carriers. So when 64 communities nationally have lost air service altogether, Dubuque was one of them. We recently just announced a new less than daily service, but times are tough in the business, as a lot of businesses, so this is significant, and come on out. I promise it'll be 30 minutes long. We'll do the route unveiling, you have a cookie, we'll high five, and we can go back to work on Friday. So, what's that? We'll give them free parking. Free parking too, you'll never get that again. So, free parking. Nate Kading's got the over-under, so if you want to get some money in on the route, see Nate. But thank you, and have a great holiday.
Thank you, Marty. The airport is a jewel for our area. I recently had an opportunity to take a trip and went through 6 different airports. And every time we landed in a different airport, the friends that were with me would look at me and say, aren't we lucky that we have the Eastern Iowa Airport, because it's so much better than anything that's out there in other communities. So thank you, Marty. We have a special celebration going on in 2023. Coralville will be turning 150 years old. And we are starting the celebration. We've got the committees formed, and we have our 2 committee chairs for the overall committee, and that is Lori Goodrich from the Coralville City Council and Stacy Hausman from the Iowa City Coralville Convention and Visitors Bureau. And they're going to tell you a little bit about the celebration that's upcoming. Whoops.
I'm sorry, but does anybody else think of Eye of the Tiger when they look at Kelly right now? That was the first thing that popped in my head. Hi, everybody. My name is Stacy Hausman. I'm with the Iowa City Coralville Area Convention Visitors Bureau. I am a longtime Johnson County native resident, but I recently just relocated to Coralville here in July with my family. Oh, need to step further. With my husband and 2 little boys. And I'm pleased and honored to be serving as co-chair for the Sesquicentennial Committee with City Council member Lori Goodrich. Coralville was officially incorporated on October 3rd, 1873. So yes, that means that it gets to celebrate 150 years next year. I would say along with getting to know a lot of committee members and Coralville residents, I also now can say I can spell sesquicentennial without a spell check, so something I never thought I'd be able to list as an attribute. So Lori and I are really happy to share some of the highlights. There's already been some programming that you guys have probably already seen this past year, and there will be a lot of celebrations from here through October of next year. When we started working on this, it was really a priority for us to make sure to not only showcase Coralville's history, but also remark on Coralville's future. So it made, obviously, the tag that you can see, Rich History, Bright Future. There will be a handful of new programming that you will see, but one of the bigger priorities that we had was to make sure that we were incorporating 150 elements into a lot of those annual events that Coralville does so well and the community loves. Lori?
Thanks. So we did a cemetery walk, and the Isle of Lights events just happened, and those were great starts of us. There's a tree sales and planting that will continue throughout the year, and the goal is to plant, of course, 150 trees throughout Coralville. The upcoming events where we have 150 elements as part of them will be the Winterfest, which is Saturday, January 21st, and Sherry Proud and her group are working hard to create an outdoor fun-filled day near the river and are working on ways to incorporate the 150th components. And then, of course, you all want to hear and be involved in Fourth Fest. And that, we're adding an extra day to that, and in cooperation with Lynn Snyder and her great committee members, this year we'll start on Saturday, July 1st and go through the 4th of July, which is on a Tuesday. There'll be a series of events in St. Morrison Park that will pay homage and mirror what has been done in previous Fourth Fest. Some of the things are, of course, the 5K and fun run. There's a kids tractor pull contest, basketball shoot, and swimming pool treasure hunt. We'll have a reunion picnic with entertainment for families. Of course, the music concerts and performances, and the best of 4th of July parade and famous fireworks that we've ever had.
And to cap it off, in October, there will be an anniversary celebration dedicated to celebrating 150 years in Coralville at Extreme Arena. So one of the first jobs that I had the opportunity to be tasked with when I started working for the CVB was helping select some of those historical vinyls that I'm sure many of you have seen being in that building. So I think it's just kind of the perfect place and space to hold that event as it shows history in this bright, beautiful new building. Most likely you guys have probably already seen the 150 logo that the City of Coralville produced. It's beautiful. In 2023, you'll see a lot more of that, along with a QR code that will link to the Coralville's 150 webpage. This is just a really great resource for people to be able to go to see what is going on, staying up to date on events, along with their social media channels. So the QR code with the website, there will be an opportunity to have those as window clings and posters to try to encourage, if you are a business owner, to showcase that kind of community pride and celebrate 150.
A little bit more. The Education Committee is currently working on several initiatives, and Keith Jones and Terry Kading are partnering with local elementary schools to incorporate Coralville history into curriculum and projects. The library is creating color pages that feature historical Coralville images, and the first one is the schoolhouse. Rex Branstedter's The First 150 Years will be a documentary talk, and he's also planning an 8th Avenue walk that you won't want to miss. Creating video series where residents can share their story. You can think about this. How did Coralville become your home? And we're nominating and honoring longtime businesses, public art initiatives that touch on historic art and Coralville's future. And thanks to the library and the Historical Museum for helping and doing so much of the work. And we're finding ways to record and update Coralville's history since the past centennial for the last 50 years that we've been experiencing. Of course, the Coralville city staff are heavy lifters on these initiatives. And we want to thank Kelly and Ellen Hobble, Sherry Proud, Tony Rotland, John Hines on video, and all the staff that are involved in this. And also we have some wonderful volunteers, and we'd love your help too, and to hear your stories and ideas.
So the city's also invested in apparel to kind of help celebrate and recognize City of Coralville Pride. So you may have seen some of these on the website already as well. But just for kind of some examples, there's the crew neck sweatshirts, which kind of has that classic collegiate appeal, the vintage long sleeve. There's a retro youth, and then kind of the stocking cap. So those are available for purchase at City Hall and the rec center during facility hours, incredibly reasonably priced. You're not going to find a sweatshirt for $23 anywhere else. So they just want to have that kind of Coralville pride represented. And we're really kind of encouraging additional engagement from businesses and residents through this next year. Kind of allowing a lot of autonomy in how you want to get involved. So, asking your friends, neighbors to volunteer. When you do things like increasing the Fourth Fest, an extra day, that requires extra assistance. So those volunteer needs are important. And Lori and I are here as touch points for any kind of involvement in whatever capacity makes sense for you. So we'd love to hear from you. And again, please make sure you're checking out the website. It is a wonderful resource. And as a side note, for my day job at the CVB, we've had several events lately that are very large that we have helped facilitate and that requires a lot of volunteers. I have tapped into a lot of you in this room, so I just want to personally say thank you very much for that. Without that volunteers, those events would not be able to happen, so very much appreciated. And then we can do a couple drawings for some of this wonderful apparel. Santa. Do the hat. Sure. Paula, do you need a Coralville hat? Paula Bakey. Oops, wrong. Wrong Paula. Paula Bakey, sorry. I'm so sorry. Please take a free green shirt on the back. Jenny, Fanta. And Beth Hieronymus.
Thank you, Lori and Stacy. Rex, come on up here. We have one thing that Rex and a few other people from Coralville have been working on for the last couple of years, and this is going to be completed in 2023 in time to celebrate for the 150th. And so, if I can find it, Rex. Nope, I can't find it. You're going to just have to talk. You have to talk. I can't find it. All right, here.
Good afternoon. I'm Rex Brandstatter, the Coralville historian, and I can't stand it with the airport. I told Pam and Marty I wouldn't release it, but Ozark Airlines is coming to Cedar Rapids Airport, East Round. Oh wait, that was 1957. I told you how they used to land down here, but now they're Eastern. I thought, sorry, I needed to break that, but the way it had to be. The Brandstatters have been in Coralville for over 2/3 of 150 years. And Tuesday night at the city council meeting, they voted unanimously. They want me to leave. So there you go. I'm under extreme pressure from both Kelly and Seelig that my time has to be short or their guns are loaded, is what they told me. So, I want to make this announcement. Since 1952, the greater Coralville business community has held what we know and commonly refer to as the year-ender. And this year it will be held at Tavern Blue on the Coralville Strip on Friday, December 30th which is, of course, the last business day of the year, and it's for business people like yourselves and your associates. We'll be at Tavern Blue, and it's like a door thing. We'll just set up about like we have here this afternoon. It's been going since 1952. And so this is a time-honored tradition, and we'll see you there a week from Friday night at Tavern Blue. And remember, Coralville is the hub of hospitality. On behalf of all of we realtors in the audience, Alan, Laura, everybody else, we just hate it when people announce that they're bringing more jobs to the community. So thank you so much. We're here for I want to tell you about what Kelly was referring to. Is called the Veterans Memorial in Coralville. In 2012, a bunch of us sat down and said, you know, Coralville, we don't have a Veterans Memorial like many other small towns around the Midwest and around Iowa. We would like to have one. And before I go any further, I want to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you who have served this country. Thank you so much on behalf of the veterans. So we started in 2012. The memorial is in place. It's there. We're not quite done. It is in place. It's right up. It's in Oak Hill Cemetery in Coralville, right up the top of the hill here on First Avenue, Hayden Fry Way, right at the entrance of Russell Slade Boulevard, who was our fire chief. Right there, right across from the fire memorial. It sits right on the corner there. And we are at the 5-yard line, and hopefully our offense can take it into the end zone from the 5. We're 90% there. We inspected on Tuesday, the committee, we went out to Country Landscape, and we saw the final. We've got 6 polished black granite walls are going up, and they weigh 2 tons apiece. So they are going to be dynamic. They're going to be, the insignia for each 6 branches of the service will be put on those, and they will be hoisted up. We are within $35,000 of our goal, and we've been at it a long time. And we have Patriots Plaza with the bricks for your name. Yes, living memorial to service members, veterans. Your Uncle Charlie, who was in World War II, or your grandfather who was in the Civil War, those are all up there. It's a beautiful, beautiful place, and once we get those walls in there, it's just an aura of remembrance once you set foot over there. So that's what we're going to do. I just want to tell you that you can contact myself. You can call City Hall. We're Sherry Proud, the Recreation Parks Director, is going to have information back there. We've got all the stuff there, Sherry, in the back. And we'd like to have you consider that. It could be for your grandpa who served. Your company can buy a brick up there. We call them bricks. They come in different sizes. And we have for businesses, if you want your logo up there, we have a Patriot Circle around the flagpole. We've thunk it up good. We've thunk it up well. It's all a remembrance for this wonderful country and all those who serve to defend our freedom. So thank you for having me today. And yes, Ozark and United both flew into Iowa City Airport back in the day. And then the Eastern Airport opened in a bigger venue, and away we go. It's a great deal. Thank you all for coming to Coralville.
Our next speaker woke up from a long winter's nap, a deserved nap, and that's Josh Schomburger. And Josh and his crew have put on a great event this last weekend. Who'd have thunk, Rex, that we would have 18 countries coming to Coralville, Iowa to wrestle? Or we would have 30,000 people come to see girls volleyball in our community. That's just the beginning of things to happen, and Josh has got many more things to come yet.
All right, thank you, Kelly. Appreciate everybody that's been here. First thing I want to say, as a former commissioner, I'm a commissioner emeritus now, is what I tell Steve. That route announcement tomorrow is a very big deal, and it has been something that when I became a commissioner like 12 or 13 years ago, it was top of the order, and so to see it finally being announced tomorrow is a big, big deal. So congrats to Steve and the entire airport when that comes together and gets announced tomorrow. There are certainly some exciting things coming up in the community. I don't know who's here from the arena, but they have really starting to fill out their calendar very well. Tom Hamilton is here with the Heartlanders, and they are back in town this weekend. They really have been on the road a lot these first 3 months, but I know Kalamazoo is in town, and they've got a full weekend planned, including one of the more popular events in hockey, and that's the teddy bear toss, which all goes to charity when the first goal is scored on Saturday night. There's a lot of concerts coming. Most of them are country. I don't know who they are, but Kelly says they're good. There's a rapper, a Boogie with the Hoodie that's coming. That's very popular. So the men's basketball team has asked that the date be moved. That's not going to happen, but super popular. And then a band I do know, Chicago, is coming in May. So Chicago will be fantastic. A lot of events. We just wrapped up, as Kelly mentioned, the UWW World Cup. It's capped off about a 13 or 14-day run of our team. Stacy Hausman, who's already been up here, is truly the MVP of the entire event, working with 19 different countries and trying to communicate and explain what a double room is compared to a king room to the Kazakhs, the Kyrgyzstanis, the Azerbaijanis, across the board, the Iranians. Crazy. So kudos to Stacy and everything that she did and our entire team. I know Nick Pfeiffer is here as well. We do have one more big wrestling event at the end of the month. We're trying to take over Midlands from Chicago, and we're putting on a new event called Soldier Salute. That'll have the entire Iowa wrestling team. Tom told me he's sending all 35 guys. The entire women's team, this will be the very first time you'll see the Iowa wrestling women's team be able to compete, all 15 of them. That'll be December 29th and 30th with all of the wrestling academies in the country, Navy, Army, Citadel, VMI, and a pile of other schools, Wisconsin, UNI, Wyoming, Columbia, Citadel, many others. So you can look at Soldier Salute IA for more information on that.com. And then just in a couple months, we will welcome the very first ever sanctioned Girls State Wrestling Tournament to Coralville, and that will be here for probably the next 10 years at minimum. So we worked very hard these last couple of years to help get wrestling sanctioned for girls in Iowa. If you think about it, just 4 years ago, there were 82 girls wrestling in the state tournament. Right now, there's 2,400 wrestling in the state of Iowa. So incredible growth. I just started having to wear these damn things, so I'm sorry if I look so goofy. But I can't see you, and I can't see this, so we're going back and forth. So just a couple things on World Cup. Obviously, it was tremendous. People have asked a lot about how it went and how it was working with Iran. It was certainly very challenging, but everybody stayed safe, and we tried to get by as best we could. Iran travels as a nation, with very pro-regime people and handlers, because they don't want anything happening in the team saying, we really do love America. Why should we get back on the plane? And it was a balance there in a very ongoing set of communications between me and those team leaders to explain why we are not going to stop protesting, and this is the way it works in America. And so a real good balance there. But again, challenging at times. I can tell you the athletes themselves love America. A couple of them showed up in practice in LeBron James kits. One of them showed up in a full Cubs kit, and they call me Josh because they couldn't say the Josh, so it's Josh. And it's Josh, go Cubs go, They have these little American things that I have no idea how they figure out, but after they lost the gold medal match against the Americans Sunday night, and they had a couple in drug testing with all the other countries, we spent an hour and a half, and they wanted to learn how to throw an American football. And so they had never seen one. The first time they threw it, Kading, you would have probably loved it. It was quite funny. But by the end of the night, one or two of them started to get a spiral. And so when we took them to the airport, I gave them an Iowa Hawkeye football, and I just wrote on it to my Iranian wrestling friends, just get better, Josh. And so they have it now in their practice room and back in wherever they're at in Iran. So a couple little quick things, and then I'll turn it back over to whoever the next speaker is. But, we do have several of these hats that Kelly was wearing, those terrific beanies that say Coralville, Iowa, USA, that went to all the athletes. Again, we had 19 countries here. 3 of them have stayed this entire week and are still here, and 3 more flew in this weekend. Norway, France, and Canada are all here for a week-long training camp. So we've got 140 athletes still in town. All of them received those beanies. That's the only way you can get it. We also have a couple shirts. So if you want one of these, they'll be in the back, and they'll be $10 each, and we'll give all the money to the food pantry from whatever you sell. So I have a couple of them here that I'll do for a door prize. This is a shirt that represents every city in the world that hosted a senior world championships this year. Rome, Sofia, Belgrade, Plovdiv, Pontevedra, Baku, and Coralville. So impressive company. First person who can tell me where Baku is. Oh my God, this is disappointing. No wrestling fans in here? Baku. Joe Hughes, you don't know where Baku is?
He's right here.
All right, how about Sophie? No. Sophie. Bulgaria. Who said Bulgaria? All right, you got one. Who won the women's championship? Ranked number 5 who said that? Ukraine. Are the two most storied Heartlander fans right up front here, by the way. Ukraine women who leave at 1 o'clock today. They're being picked up right now, and they leave at 3 o'clock at Eastern Iowa Airport. Who took second place in the men's? Iran. Joe? And how about who took second place in the women? China. Oh, sorry. And I'm going to give these last two to that Paula who thought she got messed out of our gift. Oh, Kelly, I have one more thing. Sorry. It's in my pocket. The only people, I'm glad I remember this. The only people that received this were the United States men's team and the Ukrainian women's team. And we ordered one more, we had one more, and I think there's one person that deserves a gold medal, and it's Tom Seelig for 20 years of doing this thing. So Tom, here is an official gold medal.
Whoa! Very nice. We have a slight problem here. It's 1 o'clock. Our goal is to finish before 1 o'clock. We've got 2 great speakers and a surprise at the end. So if you have to leave, go ahead. But if you can't leave, if you can stay, it'll be worth it. So I want to briefly introduce Marlene Mendoza and Tasha Lard and Angie. They're the 3 people I met earlier this year because ICAD recognized them, and they are involved with the South District. And Angie is now the executive director. Tasha's her boss. Marlene is trying to make Spanish-speaking immigrants rich, and she's committed to that, and I'm going to help her. So keep in track. So thanks a lot. So our next speaker is Ryan West. Ryan is the president of West Music Company. Been around there for 15 years, a West Side graduate. Went to New York University and majored in theater and computer science. Went to Harvard, got his MFA. Where's Ryan? Wait, you're coming? Okay. And he and Amanda have 2 children, Eva and River. And he's the West Music Company is really a national company now, an international company. That's the result of the whole family effort and the great people there and Ryan's leadership. Ryan, thanks.
Well, thank you, Tom. I get the call from Tom every year. I know it's the holiday season because about 6 weeks out. I know it's the call to say, hey, will you get up there and make a fool of yourself singing Christmas carols? And I say, absolutely. But he gave me a little bit of time this year, so I appreciate the opportunity, Tom, to get up and share a little bit of our story. To get us in the holiday spirit, I wanted to start off with one slide here. These are my kids, Eva and River. We were enjoying the luminaries on Sunday. This is up on the corner of 12th Avenue and 8th. It's not the inflatable house on 12th and 10th, which is also amazing, but this one was really fantastic. We got a chance to do it, and I want to say kudos to Kelly for doing the luminaries and really owning that opportunity for Coralville over the years. It really does make a special impact on the community. Hopefully many of you know where West Music is. I would be remiss if I didn't have 10 shopping days left to remind you that you can go down to 1212 5th Street in Coralville and do some holiday shopping. We carry all sorts of other holiday products, and we do have everything from guitars, drums, grand pianos. Jim, right there, I'm looking at you, man. It does look fancy. That's right. Your name's on that one. As well as a variety of kids products. We expanded a bunch of our kids selection here, which does really reflect a lot of the other parts of our business. And so for this and some of the things that we want to celebrate for this past year and the growth, I wanted to take you to another part of Coralville that we also do continue to operate out of. So if you go down the Coralville Strip and you go out past the mall and past Tyson's, there's West Core Drive, and according to Google Maps, I don't know if this road is open yet, but Google thinks it is, which is great, because you don't have to go past and back through. But at 401 West Core Drive, for the last 17 years, West Music, we've been operating our fulfillment center for our national business, where we do take care of a lot of music products for all over the country and around the world, as Tom alluded to. So as we head out there, the last 2 years have been tough. When we are in a business where most of our business is built around group activities and blowing through instruments and all the things that go with that, you can imagine the last 2 years we had to hit a pause and kind of reflect and figure out what we could do. And our team has been fantastic about solving for that. And as we've come back after the pandemic, things are going really, really great in the education space and the opportunity for students to make music. So as we've been out at our fulfillment center, we've operated there for the better part of 17 years, operating about 40,000 square feet of warehouse and fulfillment operations. We do that all ourselves. But this past year and this fall, we finally outgrow that space. And so as we're growing and celebrating our growth into Coralville, we're getting ready and have begun the expansion into the other half of that building to add on another 40,000 square feet to our fulfillment operations. And we just started that about 2 months ago. So I'm going to show you a couple pictures. Oh, there we go. That's the exterior of a warehouse. It's really exciting, really dynamic. I know. Just wait, it gets better. So this is what we call Suite A. This is one half of the building that we just have started moving into. You can see we already have a bunch of inventory that's moved in there. We started this back at the beginning of November, where we started moving in there. And so we're already getting ready to operate out of there. Again, exciting warehouse pictures. This is our Rotunda, no, this is just some of the products that we do ship. As I mentioned, we do ship all over the country, and as Tom mentioned, about 75% of our business is done actually outside of the state of Iowa. Many of our local customers, we really appreciate you coming in the door, and we really are very proud to support our local community. But we also have the opportunity to support school districts all over the country and all over across the world. One of the areas that we do is one of our specialty divisions is called Percussion Source. We get to provide percussion products to concert and symphonic bands all over the country, as well as drum lines. And it's just one of those areas that we really focus deep on over our history and have continued to go further. We also do a lot of things for early childhood music. In fact, most of this is our elementary education. We have a catalog that goes out. It's focused on pre-K to 8th grade general music, everyone's favorite instruments, the things that kids get started with music on. This is a huge number of kazoos. I was doing some numbers looking at kazoos. We did about 25,000 kazoos last year, so that's pretty exciting. Okay, kazoos. And then everyone's really favorite instrument is the recorder, right? Yeah, everyone knows their kid with that recorder. I'm sorry, but it's a great instrument. And the reason why it's a great instrument is because it's an instrument that every kid gets to have one. And there are very few instruments that every kid, no matter economic situation, etc., at $3 you can start to learn how to play an instrument, start playing a tune, and start doing some of that. This last year, we took care of about 880,000 recorders for students all over the world. So it's a lot of recorders. We also do a variety of percussion products. These are some of the international products. We do source products all over the world. We haven't been traveling a lot internationally the last couple of years, but we have a variety of our own products, including those jingle bells that are on your tables there. And we do source little products like this, like these egg shakers. And so we develop these products with our team in-house, import them directly here to Coralville, and then ship them out as part of some of our products, both as our catalog business as well as our wholesale business. One of the amazing things that happened during the pandemic, I talked about the disruption that occurred where you couldn't do all these group activities. Our team did such a fantastic job doing a pivot where they put together personal elementary music kits. And there were a variety of things from recorders to egg shakers to bells, etc. And kids would get a small custom bag of stuff so that way they could continue to make music at home when they were doing maybe those Zoom classes, etc. And that's just one of the ways that we can continue to support education happening even in a virtual space. This is just a couple of things here. We do take care of all the other variety of products too. That's some of our pack line. We've got 23, I believe, let me double check the numbers here. 23 full-time team members that are out there taking care of orders and taking care of customers based in our warehouse. 24 actually. So that's the pack line there, as well as some of the keyboards and other products we take care of there. And then we continue to invest in some of the infrastructure there, including things like our fork trucks and lift trucks. And on the thing on the right hand side here, that's our vertical lift machine. It's really cool. It brings all the inventory down for people to grab stuff, and an order picker can pick 20 orders at a time there. So if anyone ever wants to come out and see this amazing rotunda and everything else with it, I do invite you, come find me afterwards, and we really are proud of it and what our team has done out there, because it is a really exciting opportunity for it. So West Music has been operating for 81 years. We are really happy to celebrate that. On the left-hand side, you can see Steve West there. He's the tall guy on the end there. And that's holiday greetings from the West family at one of our original locations in downtown Iowa City. But we're really, really happy to share the holiday season with everybody here today. And as one of our special gifts, you do see some bells on your desk there. In the past, if you've come to this, you know that I'm going to say, you got to give me all the bells back because it's for our early childhood classes. But our holiday gift to you is that everybody gets to take these bells home with them today. And you can make some music yourself, or you can share some music making with someone else in your life. So make sure that you do take those bells with you. And again, one final picture of my kids, because this is the reason why I get to get up and go do it every single day. This was part of the Luminaries Night, Even River. Happy holidays, everybody. Thank you, Tom, and thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Ryan. Coralville's very proud to be the headquarters for West Music. Our last speaker today does not really require a lot of introduction. Nate Kading. Nate, many of you remember, won 3 high school championships when he was at West High, went on to play for the Iowa Hawkeyes and then the NFL. But what's great about Nate is he could have lived anywhere. He was out in San Diego for a lot of years, but he came back to the Iowa City, Coralville area and is investing in our community in many, many different ways. And this is a new one that you'll just find out about today. So Nate.
Well, Kelly's pulling that up. I got Lori, Stacy, one recommendation for the merch, the 150-year Coralville merch. We need some Can't Hide That Coralville Pride merch. That was my slogan back in the late 80s, early 90s. But all right, awesome. Thank you, Kelly. We're working on a small little development in North Coralville, the happening area up there where the North Coralville Hy-Vee went. What was that, Kelly? Maybe 15 years ago already? 10, 15 years ago? And of course, the future University of Iowa hospitals are going up on the southeast corner, 965 Forever Green. Our lot that we purchased here is just south of where Jersey Mike's and the Foundry is. We have about 15,000 square feet of multi-tenant retail, neighborhood commercial. And we got a few renderings of the development here. We have Thompson & Co. Barbershop in Iowa City is going to anchor the mixed-use building. And then what we're going to talk most about today is this exciting new concept that's coming to town. To the left of me here is Ben Smart. He was a City High grad and moved back here to Iowa City from multiple stints as a chef across the United States, most notably in Seattle before he came back. And he's the executive chef at Big Grove, Pullman, St. Birch. He's a tremendous talent, and business partner of mine and our team, and obviously has done amazing things since he's been back. And he's recruited another amazing culinary talent who's the guy that makes it go behind this future bakery concept. So I'll let Ben introduce Corey, and then Corey tell his story.
Wonderful. Thanks, Nate. Well, he did my bio for me, so I'm just going to get right to my friend Corey. This is Corey Barrett. I met Corey in Seattle at the Herb Farm restaurant, which was a 5-diamond restaurant, one of the original farm-to-table restaurants. I was the sous chef, and he was the executive pastry chef, and we just really quickly sparked a friendship that's lasted over a decade. And so when I moved back to Iowa City to help open up Big Grove in 2013, we started doing these series of reunion dinners, kind of an excuse to have some of my friends from Seattle come and join me. We would do these fun dinners, and then we would go out and we'd have fun. We'd go out, drink, and eat around town.
That's why it really happened.
Yeah. And over that time, we kind of joke and say, hey, Corey, when are you going to move to Iowa? When are you going to open a business with us? And what started as a joke pretty quickly became a lot more serious. And in 2019, we had a full head of steam, and we were straight ready for concept design, and we were, obviously that stopped very quickly in 2020. But when the conversation picked back up, that's how I knew it was really real, because none of the interest in the project had waned. Corey was still gung-ho on moving to Iowa, and he's since now moved his whole family to Iowa. He's a member of our community. We're extremely lucky to have him. Not only was he the executive pastry chef at the Herb Farm, he was the executive pastry chef and then ultimately the executive chef for Michael Simon's restaurant Lola. You might have heard of Michael Simon. He was one of the Iron Chef for Iron Chef America. And so Corey actually was on 17 episodes of Iron Chef America, and they went like an unprecedented 16-1 in their battles, so they kind of wiped the floor with everybody. He won 2013 Pastry Chef of the Year award from the American Culinary Federation. He's a 3-time James Beard semifinalist. So if you guys know anything about James Beard, it's basically the Oscars for the food world. It's a big deal. He's just a really great talent. In 2019, he won the Food Network's Spring Baking Championship. He has over 10 years of experience in teaching and directing culinary programs in Michigan. So he's kind of done it all in his career. The only thing he hasn't done is own his own restaurant. So I'm incredibly honored and humbled to just take a small part in helping bring this to fruition for him. And so if you guys could just help me give him a round of applause, Corey Barrett.
The most intimidating part is Santa Claus is on the same thing. I'm sure you all felt that when you came over. Thank you so very much. Really excited to be here. As Ben said, I think I came here to Iowa City, Coralville. Our initial dinner was in Solon, and I don't know, from that one point in time, this place interested me. And I have to, kind of talk about when I talk about with the restaurant, with the folks that I lived with in Michigan and friends that I had there, the number one question, and if you move from out of state, maybe you got it too, is like, why Iowa? That was the question, right? And as I've heard a couple, speakers up here, it's why does the area continue to grow? Why does the area continue to prosper? There's so many businesses. There's the airport. It's everybody in the room, right? I mean, that's why things continue on. It's because of all of you, and that's why I was interested. That's why my family was interested in coming here. There's so much positivity. There's so much forward energy in the region. It's just tremendous. So I would love to say thank you for welcoming us. My kids go to Coralville Central. We live in Coralville, so we are. What's the Coralvillites? Is that like a thing? Coralvillians? However that goes. So really excited to be a part of the business, and as things are kind of moving along, as Nate kind of led to some fruition, the building is happening, which is an amazing kind of piece. And seeing Barrett's actually come to fruition, my passion and my energy has come from pastries all these years. So like Ben led into, I'm a pastry chef, have a huge background in that, and wanted to bring my passion and my curiosities to the area and sell and share really what has been a beautiful thing throughout my career. And so everyday pastries, all day cafe is our focus. We want to give to the community things that I enjoy eating every day. I have to say it's a little bit of a selfish endeavor, simply because what are the things that we all enjoy? Sandwiches, soups, salads, fresh baked pastries, coffee every single day, probably too much for some of us. These are the things that I have always come to enjoy, and things that I think are beautiful to the public. We have a little sample of a blueberry muffin there. We talked a lot about muffins over the past few days. A blueberry muffin there, that's kind of our spin on a really great blueberry muffin. It's a great snapshot of what Barrett's is. It's,
Tastes delicious, but I'm eating it right now.
That's good. Excellent. Yeah, take it home, dig in, whatever you'd like. But it's a snapshot of what Barrett's is. It's taking a step back and looking at our everyday foods and how can we make them better? How can we make them more enjoyable for the community at large? And that's something that's near and dear to my heart, and also something that I quite frankly like to eat every day. So it's a wonderful and beautiful thing. So again, thank you for inviting me into the community, for friends that offered so much to us since we've been here. It's just a really a fantastic kind of piece. And I think in closing, why Iowa has been the question, and I think it's why not Iowa. I think that's you guys have a tremendous community, and I'm really happy to be a part of it. So thank you very much. When do we open? Spring of 23. May of 23 is when we're open, yep. Super excited about that. 7 to 7, yeah. So Barrett's all day really is the mindset, all day cafe. So 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. all the way through the day. Breakfast and breakfast sandwiches early on in the morning. Pastries until we sell out. We should always sell out every day, so keep coming. And dinner and lunch all the way throughout the day. Offerings, rotisserie chickens, hearty vegetable salads, beer and wine as well.
It's exciting. Exciting.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay. Ryan, come back up. We're going to sing in Jingle Bells. Before we do that, we have one other thing that happened. Yesterday, a person in this room emailed me, and they want to help the food pantry. So they own a house on Lake Geneva. It's a 7-bedroom home. It's a lovely place. Some of our friends have stayed there. They don't want to have their name mentioned, so we cannot mention it. And we want to raise money for the food pantry. I didn't know what to do, so I think I have most of your email addresses. So next Wednesday morning, up until noon, we're going to take bids. You get a 3-night summer stay at this lovely place on Pleasant Lake, 7 bedrooms. Comes lots of people. If you have any friends, they can go up with you. It's really a unique place. Lots of things going on. So it's real simple. You just email me and say how much you want to pay for it. The more the merrier. Every nickel goes to the food pantry. There's no overhead in this deal. It's a straight shot because of these generous people in this room. So watch your emails. I picked Wednesday because it's Wednesday. So it'll be like noon Wednesday, but wait, it's a hell of a deal. So anyway, Ryan, close it out for us.
Okay, so you're gonna have to go take the plastic off the thing, right? And like the old movies, you could say every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings, but I'm gonna reference Buddy the Elf because I saw Elf the musical at CCPA this past weekend. Jerry, great job. Good job, Coralville. And Buddy the Elf says, the best way to spread holiday cheer is sing loud for all to hear, right? Does everyone know Jingle Bells? Yes? I don't need to put the lyrics up there? Okay. So it's going to be, we start with Dashing Through the Snow and then we end with Jingle Bells, right? Okay, just so we're all clear. So I don't have a pitch pipe or anything like that, so na 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 da, something like that. Can we do that? Okay. 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, 3. Dashing